Right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the STEM Digital School. This is grade 5 Natural Sciences and Technology. Right, guys, very important. Today we are starting with a new topic and it is under term 3. Okay, so just gather your textbooks, your writing books, your pens, pencils, highlighters. So basically all the stationery that you are going to need. All right. Also, guys, please do not switch on your videos during class. All right, do not switch on your videos during class. You can use the group chat to send through any questions that you have, or if you maybe want to give me an answer, you can use the group chat to send through your answers. And if I am going too slow for you guys, remember there is a go slower button there by participants. You can use that. All right, just to indicate to me to just slow it down my pace. Okay, so we are going to start off, all right, with the session. Okay, so let's just get into it. I see someone just sent me a text asking if we're playing Kahoot. Remember I said Kahoot is for Fridays. All right, so we're not going to play Kahoot during the week. Monday to Thursday we work, and Friday we also work, but in a fun way. Okay. So we'll be looking at energy and change. And the first topic that we'll be looking at is stored energy in fuels. Right, so I hope everyone is on that page. Energy and change, and we'll be looking at stored energy in fuels. Right. Cool. As I said, that is our subtopic. All right, so let's do a quick recap. Just see another question popping up in the group chat. Um, when are we going to write the test? So remember the test for natural sciences and technology is on Thursday. Okay, so when you guys get to class, I'll explain to you guys the procedure. But I think by Thursday, you guys will already know what you need to do. But the natural sciences and technology test is on Thursday. Okay, so this Thursday on the 23rd, right? Hey, quick recap. In grade 4, you learned all about energy and what it is. So let's remind you guys again about energy, and I will start here. What is the definition of energy? What is the definition of energy? What is the definition of energy? You guys can raise your hand, right? Or you can type it into the group chat. What is the definition of energy? So remember we did this in grade 4 when we were looking at, basically what is energy and change, also in grade 4. What is the definition of energy? Or how can you guys describe energy? Okay, Leander. Wow, Leander, you put your hand down so fast. Okay, all right, okay, no problem. Oh, I see it, I see it there. Yes, Leander, talk to me. Leander? Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately, Leander, there is no sound coming from your side. I can see that you're talking, but there is no sound coming through. So you can just use the group chat, yeah? Use the group chat to type in your answer, right? Okay, so guys, what is the definition of energy? I'm sure it's not the first time that you're hearing about this word, but you guys even use it. Okay, so what is the definition of energy? Okay, so let's say this is something that gets something active, all right? Something. Okay, Tanda says energy is everything we do, okay? Koto says energy is the sun. All right, let's hear what Arlena has to say. See your hand. Talk to me.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
Energy is like, it's like the sun and what everyone else said. Who said it's like
like
the
the
sun?
sun.
Yes, because the sun provides energy to like plants and plants give energy to an animal, and that animal will get eaten, and then that gives us energy.
Okay, so now you're talking about the food chain where we see a transfer of energy. All right, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
thank you very much for that, Karina. And thank you for
Thank
actually
you.
connecting those concepts. That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see what the definition of energy is. Okay, guys, simple. Energy is the ability to do work. Okay, the ability to do work. So I do think you guys need to write that down. Energy is the ability to do work. So in order for anything to happen, energy is required. Okay, energy is required. Okay, Koto, you do need to elaborate on the message that you've just sent me. Just elaborate on that. Okay, so guys, you need energy for everything you do. Okay, so remember, I believe it's from grade 4, the 7 life processes. So every living thing, all right, needs energy in order to fulfill those 7 life processes. Okay. So yeah, we're even getting to that, those 7 life processes. Do you guys remember what they are? You guys remember the 7 life processes of living things? And if you do, please raise your hand and tell me about them, or you can just type them in the group chat, then I'll read it out for the class. Okay, let's my end.
Hello,
Did I
ma'am.
pronounce your name correctly?
Ma'am, my name is Tafika.
Tafika. Oh, okay. Why did you change your name now?
Ma'am, I'm using my mom's laptop. The iPad died.
All right, cool, no problem. All right, Tafika, the 7 life processes.
Movement, breathing, action, excretion, and yes, ma'am, that's what I can remember.
Okay, so you only remember 4. Okay, so let's ask Kengi to give us the rest. Okay, thank you very much, Tafika. Okay, Kengi.
I don't remember it all. I only remember feeding, sensing, excreting, reproducing.
Okay, so you remember feeding, sensing, as well as reproducing. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Kengi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. All right, and let's hear what who do we have again? Leanda. Okay, we'll try again, Leanda. Yes,
Ma'am,
Leanda.
can you hear me now?
Ma'am,
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, so there's growth, nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, there's also movement,
All right.
reproduction, sensitivity, excretion,
Okay.
respiration.
You're getting to 8 now. You already gave me 8 things right now.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
But okay, thank you very much, Leandane, for the beautiful answers. All right, awesome. Okay, so guys, remember the seven life processes. That is movement. Okay, reproduction, sensing, breathing, feeding. I think that is the one that most of you guys, or rather all of you, left out, was the feeding. And then we have excretion as well as growth. So I see answers in the group from Koto said breathing and movement. They said, you said reproduction, growth, excretion. Sakura said movement or moving, reproduce, feeding, growing, as well as sensing. Okay, so those are the 7 life processes. Remember, they distinguish between the living as well as the non-living things. All right. Okay, so key questions. Where do we as humans get our energy from? Where do we as humans get our energy from? Okay, Leletu, I see your hand is up. I was about to take your hand. You just took it down.
Ma'am,
Okay,
ma'am,
hello?
we mostly get our energy, ma'am, from eating, and we usually get it from the sun, ma'am.
Okay, so we get our energy from the sun as well as from eating. Okay, thank you very much, Sakura, for that. Okay, so let's hear what Karina has to say. Where do we as humans get our energy from, Karina? Okay, so I see Liseji in the group says from the food we eat. Kota says from the sun. Okay, Karina, there's no sound coming from you. Lianda?
Ma'am, I was gonna say food, but someone already said it.
But do you still believe that we get our energy from food?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, awesome. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's hear Shengi. Yes, Shengi.
We get our energy from plants and animals and sun.
All right, so we get our energy from plants as well as animals. All right, thank you very much, Shengi.
Ma'am.
Awesome. All right, so I still see Cheryl. Um, Cheryl, where do we get our energy from?
From plants and the sun.
Okay, from plants and the sun. All right, thank you very much for those wonderful answers. Okay, so let us see what we have in the slide. So we get our energy from the food we eat. And most of you guys said that from plants, from animals, and from the sun. And guys, we already know that the plants, right? Rather, the food we eat comes from plants, and other foods that we eat comes from animals, right? And we also know that the plants, they get their energy from the sun, and I believe that is why most of you guys said the sun. So the food chain in this case would start from the sun, okay? And then the last bullet says, in order for the body machine to work, we have to give it fuel. Okay, so this fuel that we're talking about is the food. Okay, because food is energy. All right. So we are going to move on, and I need you guys just to indicate for me if I can move. Just use that yes or no button on participants. Can I move on to the next slide, or are you guys still writing something? All right. Okay, I'll just give you guys a few seconds. I give the person who said no a few seconds. So what you guys need to know from this slide is the definition. Yeah, is that the definition of energy is the ability to do work. Okay, and then the 7 life processes, these are from grade 4, said it is movement, it is reproduction, it is sensing, it is breathing, feeding, excretion, as well as growth, right? Bonana says in the group that food is the fuel to our bodies, and that is correct, Bonana. So I believe the person who said no is done now because they retracted the no. All right, cool. Now we step into defining what fuels are. So we already established that the food that we eat as humans is fuel to our bodies. All right. Faith, yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. So let's just give it a minute, and then we will move on to soil request. And we're going to move into fuels, all right, to look at the definition of fuels and understanding what fuels are, all right. Okay, can I move on now, guys? Can I move on? Can I move on? Okay, so Faith says, all right, see your hand as well. Okay, Faith,
Hello, ma'am.
how are you?
Fine, thanks. And how are you, ma'am?
I'm well, thank you.
So, ma'am, I was late because,
You were late for class.
yes, ma'am. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so Faith, we are doing 23's work. We add energy and change. Okay, so you
Excuse
can
me?
just energy and change.
Oh, ma'am, so it's recap from yesterday.
No, this is just recap from grade 4.
Oh,
Yes, so you can just turn in your textbook at energy and change, and we are looking at stored energy in fuels.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so guys, remember we on energy and change. If you did come late and you're not sure what we are doing, we are doing, or rather, we are covering the work on energy and change. This is term 3's work, right? Okay, so what are fuels? And that is a question to you guys actually. What are fuels? If you're saying that food is a fuel to our bodies, then what are fuels? I see Bonana also said in the group that food is a fuel in our bodies. Then what is fuel or fuels? Okay, Koto says the food we eat. Okay, so can fuels only be food? Are fuels only food? Koto, are fuels only food? Okay, I see a hand. Tafika says no. Bonona is talking about car fuels. Okay, Faith, let me hear. Yebo.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, fuel
Mhm.
is a substance that can be eaten or burned to produce energy.
Okay, so a substance that can be eaten or burned to produce energy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, beautiful. Thank you very much, Faith.
Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, Leletu. Leletu. Okay, I think, all right, cool, no problem. Leletu, Yebo, what are fuels? Ooh, okay, so the sound is quite tricky there.
Gas. Oh,
Yo, Leletu, I didn't hear
ma'am.
what you said. Can you repeat what you just said?
Oh, fuels are materials such as coal, gas, or oil that is burned to produce heat or power.
All right, so fuels are things that are burned to produce power. All right, thank you very much, Leletu.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, so let's hear what Rianda has to say.
Ma'am, a fuel is any material that can be made to react with another substance so that it releases energy as heat energy or be used for work.
Okay, so it reacts with another substance to release heat energy or to do work or heat. So what did you say the last part?
Ma'am, I said, oh, it can be used for work.
Okay, so or it can be used for work. So I hope everyone got that. Thank you very much, Rianda.
Welcome, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what are you guys saying in the group chat. Okay, so Koto is saying, or Koto said that it fuels of the food that we eat. It could either be plants or animals. And then Mercedes says fuels are a source to or for energy. All right. So let's see what Sakura has to say. Then we are going to move on. Sakura?
Ma'am, I was
Mm-hmm.
actually going to read from my book about
Okay.
ma'am, I
Fuels.
was going to read from my book, ma'am, about
Okay.
the energy you're talking about, ma'am.
Okay. Cool.
Ma'am, so it's in my book, ma'am. Animals need food to carry out life processes. Animals cannot make their own food. They must eat food to stay alive. Food gives animals energy. They use this energy for the life processes. They need energy to grow, move, reproduce, feed, sense, excrete, and breathe.
Okay, so your book just also mentioned the 7 life processes there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, Sakura. Right, so let us look into what fuels are. Okay, sorry about that. I think Lelo unmuted their mics by mistake. Anyway, fuel is any material that contains energy that can be later used to do work. Guys, do not switch on your mics by yourself. You raise your hand, then we unmute you. Okay. Fuel is any material that contains stored energy, okay, that can later be used for work. So remember we said that energy is the ability to do work, and a fuel carries energy, and that energy will be used to do work. Okay. Right, let's see the next bullet. So we have learned that there are many different types of energies that we get, right? We have sunlight energy, we have heat energy, and I believe that you guys did these types of energies in grade 4 and you guys remember them. Okay, so now we are going to learn about stored energy. All right, so we are going to look at how this energy is stored in fuels, or where it is stored in fuels, sorry, and then how we can use the stored energy to do something useful. Okay, so remember, when we talk about doing something useful, we are talking about work. Okay, and work can be either one of the 7 life processes or anything else that we need to get done. All right. So there is energy stored in food, and when you eat food, your body changes the food into energy to do work. Okay, so food is a type of fuel, and food has energy stored in it. All right. So when you run or play or do some work, you burn or use up the energy in your body that came through food. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. Okay. So can I move on to the next slide? Okay, Cheryl is asking, why does our body need energy? So our bodies need energy in order to fulfill those 7 life processes. So we need energy to move, we need energy to reproduce, we need energy to sense, we need energy to breathe, we need energy, excuse me, to basically even feed ourselves, continue feeding, right? We need energy to grow, and we need energy to excrete. Okay, Cheryl? So I hope you got that. And guys, I see your go slowers and your nose. Okay, not the nose on your face, but yeah, the one on the button. Okay, so I'll give you guys a minute or two, or when you're done, just indicate for me so that I can move on. Right, beautiful, Cheryl. Beautiful. Okay. So very important to note is that fuel is any material that contains stored energy that can later be used to do work. And you need to know that energy is stored in food, and when we eat the food, our body changes the food into energy, right, to do work. And when we do either of those 7 life processes, we burn up or we use the energy in our body. So even you just attending class right now, you are using energy. Typing on your phone, you are using energy. Okay, so it might not even seem as if you're using energy, but you are, trust me. Concentrating needs a lot of energy. Okay, so are we done? Can we move on? Okay, awesome. All right. So here we have a picture just basically showing us that food gives humans energy. You can see that these kids are very happy because they got lots and loads of energy from the food they eat. Okay. So some fuels can be burned to create heat as well as light. Okay, so remember we said that fuel does not only refer to food that humans eat. You know, we said it's any material that has stored energy that can later be used to do work. Okay, so the first fuel that we're going to look at is wood. Okay, so wood is often collected and burned to give us heat as well as light. So on a cold evening, it is wonderful to sit around a fire to tell stories and warm yourself with friends. Okay, sitting around the fire. I'm not sure if you guys have done that, but it is quite an awesome experience. And wood comes from trees. Wood also contains this energy stored by plants. Okay, burning wood allows us to change this stored energy to light and heat, which is useful to us. Okay, so the reason why wood, guys, the reason why wood has energy is because remember during photosynthesis that the plant, the tree or the plant takes in the sunlight energy and converts it to food. Okay, so energy was taken in from the sun, all right? And this energy can be stored either in the fruit, in the bark, in the stem, in any part of the plant. And that is why wood also contains energy. Right, here we have an example of the fire, people warming themselves, and here we also have an example where wood is used as a fuel to basically fry meat. Okay. Right, so this is the explanation that I was given to you guys of photosynthesis. Remember, we have the sun is necessary in order for photosynthesis to take place. So the sun will shine down on the leaves or the tree, right? And then photosynthesis will take place. So automatically the sunlight energy will be converted to glucose, okay? And then if we cut down the tree and we have our wood, right? This means that we have stored energy or fuel, right? And when we create the fire, then we have light as well as heat coming through, okay? Okay, so continuing with that very same topic, guys, are you good with this slide? Sorry, I think I moved too fast. Are you guys good? Can I move on from here? Okay, cool. All right, I'll give you guys a minute. Let's see, I have one go slower. So you just indicate to me when you are done. Let me just see here it is. Yeah, Koso, you'll just tell me when you're done. No? Okay, so can you guys give me maybe another example where wood is used as a fuel, or an activity where wood is used as a fuel? Okay, I see Faith. All right. Talk to me, Faith.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, there's different types of examples.
Okay, you want to give me an example?
Ma'am, can I say all of them for you?
Yes, yes, you can. You can. Yes, definitely.
Figure 1, food is fuel for your body. Figure 2, wood contains stored energy. The stored energy is released when we burn the wood. Figure 3, a coal fire can be used to cook food. The
Mhm.
4, scientists use gas as a source of energy. This gas is in this heater is natural gas. It was formed by plants millions of years ago. Figure 5, paraffin is a liquid fuel. We can use this fuel in paraffin lamps for light or paraffin stoves for cooking. Figure 6, candle wax is a fuel that is burned to make light and some heat energy. And lastly, figure 7, petrol is a liquid fuel that is used to make cars move.
All right, thank you very much. So what you just read for us are fuels that can be burned to create heat and light.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much, Faith.
Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. Koza, can we move on? All right, okay, so Koza is done. Okay, so the next fuel that we're going to look at, you might have also heard Faith read about it, is coal. All right, coal. And so let's see what we have here about coal. So coal is a type of fossil that is also burned to provide us with heat that we can use. The heat from coal can be used to cook our food as well as warm our houses. Okay. Then fossil fuels like coal were made from prehistoric plants. Okay, so very important to know that coal is made from prehistoric plants. These, or rather the plants got their energy from the sun and stored it in their bodies. Okay. So guys, I just need one person to read to us more about coal or how coal comes about. I need you guys to just understand coal. Okay, so I want to hear what your books are saying about coal. Anyone? Okay, I see Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl?
Coal is also made when animals die and then it takes a long time for them to fossilize and turn into coal.
All right, beautiful. Thank you very much. So coal is also old animals that fossilize and they turn into coal. Okay, thank you very much. What is your name?
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Melchizedek.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, so Ntando, I was asking for you guys to read me what your books say about coal. All right, so I just needed you guys to understand where coal comes from. All right, so coal comes from old plants. That's why we have the word here that is saying prehistoric. Okay, old plants as well as animals that died a long time ago and they decomposed, right? So obviously they had energy in them and they decomposed, and by that it forms a fossil fuel which we call coal. Okay, so it takes millions and millions of years to form coal. Right. And so here we have example of hot coals burning. And I believe you guys have also seen coals being used to like fry meat, etc., or like just to heat up the fireplace and stuff. Okay, so guys, can I move on from this slide? Can I move on from this slide? Okay, I see a yes. Okay, I see another yes. Santando, just indicate for me if you're good now, no? Or if you still have your question. Guys, can I move on? I need your responses. Okay, I see a no. All right, so I'll just give you guys a few minutes and then we will carry on. Okay, let me see here. I think I am asked a question asking that, can we make diamonds out of coal? Okay, so we cannot make diamonds out of coal, but diamonds are already made out of carbon. Okay, so diamonds are made out of carbon atoms. So we can, okay, I'm not sure if you can heat the diamond, but diamonds are made out of carbon atoms. All right. Fernando says coal comes from old dead plants and animals. They are buried underground. After a long, long, long time, they start forming coal. All right. Okay, Sandra, I believe that is what you wanted to share with us. Thank you very much. Sakura?
Ma'am, I actually want to reread from my book, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Fuels
Okay.
need fuels need input energy to make them burn. Fuels need some energies to start them burning. For example, a candle needs a burning match to set its wick alight. The match provides what we call input energy. This is energy that needs to be put in to start the fuel burning. Most fuels need some kind of input energy of burning. Different fuels need different amounts of input energy. A paraffin lamp and candle are easy to light. You just need to bring a burning match near the wick and it will stop burning. It is also not as easy to light big, heavy wooden logs. To make a fire with such fuel takes more than a burning match. Large wooden logs need large amounts of input energy. Often firelighters are used. Firelighters are substances that burn easily and are used to start fires.
All right, thank you very much, Zakura, for that plentiful information. All right,
Okay, ma'am.
awesome. Okay, cool. Right, so I believe we are all done with this part. Okay, so the next fuel that we are going to look at is wax. Okay, so we are going to look at wax. All right, so it reads, in a candle, or rather in a candle, we have, or rather when a candle is burned, wax in a candle is burned to provide light. And I believe that is also what Sakura just mentioned to us. And there is stored energy in the wax, and burning it allows us to change the stored energy into light. Okay, so wax is also another example of the fuel that can be burned to provide heat as well as light. Okay, and here we have an example of candle wax, or a candle, right, which is used by some people, right, to give us light as well as heat. Okay, Sakura, I see your hand again.
It also says here in my book, ma'am, what you also saying, ma'am, it's also here in my book. When fuel stop burning, the stored energy inside it is released and changed to other forms of energy like heat and light. We call this output energy. We use fuels to get many useful forms of output energy. For example, when petrol burns in a car engine, the stored energy is released and it's used to make a car move.
All right, Beautiful. Thank you very much, Sakura, for that information. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, I hope everyone is following. Okay. So let's move on to the next fuel. All right, I see Leanda's hand is up. Hold on, let me just go back if anyone was still writing. Leanda?
Ma'am, I just wanted to read here what it says in my textbook.
All right, cool. Go for it.
Okay, fuels need input energy to make them burn. We get useful output energy from fuel when it burns. For example, heat for a match is input that makes wood burn.
All right. Are you
When
done?
wood,
Or oh, okay, sorry.
when wood burns, we get useful output energy such as heat and light from burning wood. Energy is stored in foods. All living things get energy needed from living by eating food. The energy stored in food comes from the sun. Plants energy from the sun and then pass that energy through the food chain to animals. Humans are different foods as sources of useful energy to provide light, for cooking, for heating, and for making machines work.
All right, so we have various uses for the fuel. Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, Leanda? Awesome. So I hope everyone has been following. Cheryl has added up in the group saying that unlike normal wax, beeswax is environmentally friendly. Okay, so Leslie was just asking if we're reading from our textbooks. So they were just sharing, additional information with regards to wax and what their textbook says. Okay. So they were just adding on what I have on the slides. Okay, so just don't get confused, maybe. All right, cool. Next fuel we're looking at is paraffin. So this is also a fuel that contains stored energy, right? So paraffin is burned in paraffin lamps and paraffin stoves to provide us with useful energy in the form of light and heat. So when using these paraffin lamps as well as paraffin stoves, you really need to be very, very careful. Okay, so here is an example of the paraffin lamp. I'm sure you guys have seen one somewhere. All right, so there we have our paraffin lamp. Okay, so now we can go back to the human body, looking at food is fuel for the body. Okay, so in order to live, people and animals need energy. All right, we get our energy from the food that we eat. And you guys, you do remember when we spoke about food chains, I think Karina also mentioned food chains in the beginning, right? So we're going to have an exercise, but seems like time is not on our side and we won't actually have enough time for it. So we'll just continue with this. So sorry, Kosa, is there something that you wanted to write? Yeah, I'll just wait. So guys, tomorrow we will continue from that slide that I just showed you, which says food is fuel for the body, because we won't have enough time for the discussion. Okay, so let me just give everyone else a chance here for the paraffin. Okay. So Khosa, just indicate to me when you're done with. Yes, Faith?
Ma'am, so when are we writing test?
Okay, so the NS test, the Natural Science and Technology test, is on Thursday.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sure. Okay. So Khosa, if you're done here, then can you just indicate for me so that we move on to the next slide, so that I can give the class just some information before we leave. Right, cool, awesome. So just as mentioned, guys, we will continue with this tomorrow in class. Okay. So guys, tomorrow we're going to look at burning fuels as well as continuing with where we left off. I doubt we're going to look at safety with fire. So remember guys, you can get yourself the Via Africa textbook on Snaplify. Okay, so I just thought to write it out for you guys. So that's how you spell the Snaplify. And you can get the Siabula textbook on the Thunderbolt Kids website. All right. And these are the books, sorry. So these are the books that I am talking about, okay? And remember, Thursday, this coming Thursday, you have the Natural Science and Technology test. And guys, if you do have any questions, if you need me to send you the slides, then you can email me, or if you do have any questions, just email the school at stemdigitalschool@africateamgeeks.co.za. All right, so guys, have a wonderful day further and enjoy your assessment. Okay, wait, I see hands. Let me hear Shengi.
Ma'am,
Yebo.
Friday.
Excuse me?
You do the test on Friday.
I can't hear you. Just repeat that a bit louder.
If